Howdy, partner. Welcome to Shakiest Controller in the West, Stories from the Worst E-Cowboy. This is just a collection of stories of some of my gameplay experiences through Red Dead Redemption 2. This is episode 2, and as always...
Warning, minor spoilers ahead.
Now that that's out of the way, this episode 2, we're going to call this one The Bounty of the Century. And this is all based around a weird... thing that happened to me very, very early in the game, having to do with getting a bounty and trying to pay it off and stuff. So, since we already talked about a little bit minor spoilers, I'm still not going to use anybody's name. That way, in case you're not quite to this part yet, you don't even know what's going on. But there's a main mission that you have to do with one of the characters that takes you to this town you haven't been to, and you end up doing some things with them, and you earn a little bit of a bounty by... I think you kill like half the town, okay? So you earn a pretty decent bounty for how early in the game is. It's the biggest bounty you've got. And so you earn this bounty, and then you get out of town and you split ways. So no big deal, pretty straightforward. You split up and you've just got to get back to camp as always. So I do the main mission with this person. I think the bounty is like maybe $50. Not a big deal. That's not a problem. We split ways. It has me going one direction. He's going the other. I get to like a train cross spot, right? And I have to wait to cross as the train goes by. The train goes by. On the other side of the train, as the train crosses, is a couple lawmen. Now, when I was in the town, you can put up like your bandana to try and hide who you are. And so I had done that, but apparently it didn't do that good, because as soon as they see me, they go nuts and they start shooting at me, trying to arrest me for whatever I had just done in this town. And so I just take off. I just ride my horse straight through them. Now, this is another, this is still early in the game. I don't know the map. So I come around a corner, like down a hill, around a corner, right into a posse from the town. So behind me is 3 lawmen. In front of me is like 5 people in a posse. And I'm right in the middle. Put the brakes on the horse. They're shooting. I'm taking damage. I'm like popping all the baked beans and everything that I can to keep my health up. And so I decided, okay, well, I guess I got to fight a little bit. No big deal. I'll take out the lawmen, take out the posse. I pop my dead eye. I drop everybody. It's not a big deal. I'd just gotten like where I could use a pistol and a sawed-off shotgun in the other hand. So it was pretty light work, honestly, to get rid of this maybe 8 people. Of course, your bounty goes up when you do this. There's witnesses somewhere. I don't know who's seeing me do all this. So bounty's going up as I kill off the posse and the lawmen. Okay, so they're all down. I'm like, okay, well, I might as well loot them because I need the money to pay off the bounty that I've now accrued that's kind of gone up a little bit. Not even thinking about it. So, paying off the bounty. Well, another posse comes around the corner. And then another posse. And then another I mean, they literally just keep coming. And I think there's some lawmen thrown in there. I mean, they're coming from both directions. So, I'm trapped between the direction of the town and the direction that the lawmen are coming. And I'm just trying to stay alive at this point. I'm going through all of my meds, all of my food, all my horse meds and stuff to keep my horse alive. So I got a good horse that I like, and I'm like, this is awesome. All right, we're doing it. I mean, it's a bloodbath. And, of course, the whole time, the wanted thing is just flashing and going crazy, and it's just adding, and eventually it just stops telling you what you owe. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So I finally kind of destroy everything, get a little breather, get on my horse, and I just take off. I'm still shooting a few people as they get close, but I'm just trying to get out of the big red circle, just to call it good and escape this whole ordeal. And I'm no joke. I bet I probably fought my way off of maybe 50 people, whether they were posse or lawmen, through that whole time. It was epic battle of just trying to stay alive. I finally get away. Everything calms down, and I go to the area. When you go to the map, you go to the area, you see how much your bounty is. And it is $500. I could not believe that this early in the game I had $500. I have on me, I have maybe $80 at this point. I'd only done, this is maybe the 3rd mission I've done. So I maybe have $80 just from various things I've been doing. My bounty is now $500. When you have a bounty like that, if you're even seen by anybody, it just gets real hairy real fast. So I ran into one random person on the road. They knew who I was. I've got this massive bounty, and they take off to go tell the police. So I escape. I get back to camp, and I'm just sitting there going, okay, I've escalated my $50 bounty now to $500, and I've got to find a way to pay this off. So I start just trying to do like little things, like I like trying to trap and hunt and do this stuff to like get all the skins that I could and turn them in, get the money for it, and all these things. And I had to go to like a different area because I couldn't go into the area around this town where I owed the bounty. I couldn't sell there, so I had to go sell elsewhere. In the middle of that, I accidentally, I think I probably hit somebody with my horse, so then I all of a sudden have like a $15 bounty there, so I had to go to another area to sell stuff, so I couldn't get arrested, because at this point, I'm basically, every last penny needs to go towards paying off this ridiculous bounty. Eventually, I figure it out. So this is where we're going to get into a discussion of the bounty system and the money earning. The bounty system is unforgiving in this game. Even when you put like your mask on, or you put your bandana up, or you buy one of the masks, I feel like the bounty system is pretty brutal. It's fine. It makes you kind of pay attention to what you're doing. And a lot of the main story missions early on in the game, you get a bounty from doing them. So you're accruing quite a bit of fundage that you need to pay off. And really, you can't earn that much money early in the game just from going around robbing stagecoaches, robbing trains, killing animals and stuff. You're not going to accrue enough money, especially if, like me, you owe $500 of a bounty, which was insane for how early it was in the game. So how I ended up kind of getting out of this predicament is eventually, because part of me was like, okay, I can't do another main story mission. If I do a main story mission, I'm going to get busted just as soon as they take me anywhere and ruin whatever the mission is. Well, fast forward a little bit, as I really quickly discovered I was not going to be able to pay off $500 worth of bounties by shooting a bunch of white-tailed deer and selling them for $2. Okay, that was not an option. I decided to go, okay, I'm going to go try to do a mission that looks like it's elsewhere. Luckily, when you do main story missions, as I come to find out, if you have a bounty in that area that the main story mission is taking you to, you're not being tracked by the law as much. So as far as I could tell, it was no big deal. And one of the cool things with a lot of the main missions is you do earn quite a bit of money. So it wasn't very long. I probably did maybe 3 missions, and from those 3 missions I had plenty of money to pay off my bounty and had like extra to pay off some of the other bounties I accrued through those missions. So it wasn't really that big of a deal. The money earning early on in the game is pretty rough. Now that I'm a little bit later, I'm earning a lot more at a consistent pace. So nothing's really big. I'm also being a lot more careful with my bounty. If I get a bounty, I try to pay it off pretty much right away so that it doesn't just doesn't pile up on me and I end up with some ridiculous thing. Look, in this story instance, my $500 bounty, it was already pretty big just from the main story mission, which was frustrating to me. There was no other way to do that mission. And then I escalated it with the shootout with all the people. So it just it turned into a huge mess to have to deal with. But it wasn't a big deal. So my suggestion to you, if you earn a big bounty, just do main story missions. You get a better payout from those than a lot of things you do, especially early in the game. Now, once I'm later in the game, there's a lot of different ways for me to earn pretty good cash so that I can pay off all these different things. I'm also not as worried about my bounties anymore. Since I've learned how to control what I'm doing, I don't end up with as many bounties, honestly. And I haven't really done a mission in a while that's got me one. So that's kind of interesting. I think it was just early in the game. It's one of those things where it's teaching you how to play. So some of those early missions, you purposely earn a bounty, purposely have to find out how to pay it off. And if you're smart, unlike I am, you won't accrue a $500 bounty and kind of set yourself back. I probably spent 4 hours trying to pay off that $500 bounty. And it was difficult because you can't pay it in chunks. There's no payment plan on the bounty. You got to save up, pay it all off. I did learn a lot of different things to do in the game during that 4 hours because it was basically a lot of exploration. Only the last maybe hour and a half was me actually finally doing story missions to earn the good money to pay off the big bounty. So I like the bounty system. I think it is pretty brutal. Especially, like from episode 1, when I just kind of ran into the lady and got the $15 and it turned into 25 or 30 by the time I was done. That's a little frustrating when you go into town and people are just like, as soon as you do anything, they're turning you in and you're just busted completely for ridiculous things. And early on in the game, the money earning is not near what it is later. Now, if you think about me having a $500 bounty and having to do all those missions to pay it off, if you don't have a bounty and you do all those missions, you all of a sudden have a lot more money to work with than I did, and you can do all kinds of cool stuff. There's a bunch of upgrades in the camp. Some of them are pointless, but if you read through the descriptions and what the next thing unlocks, you can get some really slick stuff in your camp to make your camp actually really, really useful for you. There's the fast travel system and stuff. I highly recommend getting that unlocked quick. That lets you do all kinds of cool stuff and get around the map a lot faster. Of course, the medicine and the gunsmith stuff. It's fantastic for making sure you always have max medicines and ammo and different things. So highly recommend doing that in your camp when you're there. So anyways, I hope you liked this episode. We're kind of getting our feet under us, kind of trying to figure out how each of these things are going to go. I've got another 3 episodes at least that I'm going to be working on here pretty quick, because what's kind of funny, to have more stories, I got to play video games more. To record these, I got to play video games less. But hey, it's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the game. I'm taking my time. There's a lot of cool stuff. And I actually, I'm pretty excited about some of the stuff that I've actually just now unlocked in the game. There's a lot of stuff that I just found that is really, really cool. So thank you for listening to Shakiest Controller in the West. If you liked it, hit like, subscribe, share this with your friends, whatever you're listening to it on. I really, really appreciate it. You can email me at worstecowboy@gmail.com. You can find us at patreon.com/worstecowboy, youtube.com/worstecowboy. We're kind of all over the place. And my Twitter is M0YJ0. You can follow me there. Excuse me as I kind of get used to the solo podcast thing. I know I'm catching myself saying and like a lot. So bear with me as I kind of get my legs under me for talking for 12 to 15 minutes straight. You can email me any stories you want me to share at thatworstecowboy@gmail.com. I'd love to share some of your stories because I've seen some really funny stuff. I had buddies texting me some ridiculous stories of themselves. What is so awesome about this game and why I like sharing these stories is every time I get on, something different happens. There's just been like funny stuff with like shooting birds out of the sky. And the interactions with some of that, just the little things in this game are really, really cool, and a bunch of different stuff that happens. So I'm excited to keep playing, and I appreciate you listening to this, and we will catch you next time.